back to the 100K grind where we try to take 2,500, turn it into 100K. Bankroll sits at just around 800. Currently 3 streams up, or 3 tables up. Waiting on the 4th. We'll try to fill in more. So it'll be just a short stream this morning. So we have stuff we need to go kind of do and take care of. But we're trying to get back to updating as much as we can. We haven't checked our results. So we'll be updating the challenge on probably Monday or Sunday. And we do plan to do that bankroll gauntlet coming up. Maybe this weekend, one of the days if we have time to do it. So we'll just see what day we can find the time to do that. Where basically the plan is to start with 4 tables of 25 NL, auto buy-in turned off, $100, and we're basically win by turning one of those $25 tables into a 1K table stack. And then we'll go for there. I think we're going to do a giveaway with it, like 1% of winnings will be given away or something along those lines. So we'll see how that plays out. Not going to be too strict on all of the rules with it. It's interesting. Folds checks. We bet flop, he calls. We bet turn, he calls. Raises turn. Guess we just let it go. It's a weird one. But again, when most of like the fish are willing to put in a bunch of money or raising you when you're betting, it's almost never a bluff and almost always a pretty nutted hand. Obviously, there's some fish who are just like super spewy and will actually bluff and bet and try to push you off pots. However, most villains are just looking for showdown. Okay, we did get a third table of NL50 up here. We kind of readjusted the look of the stream. Feel free to let me know how you guys like that, or if you prefer. Well, this is the previous one we had set up like this. Table seemed a bit blurry. I figured if we have 6 tables up and our camera's in the way of the table a little bit, it's not really a big deal. But seeing the tables clearly is pretty key, I think. But yeah, we'll just play it by ear. Let me know what you think. If you guys prefer the other setup, we can go back to that as well. 5 here. Okay, we're heads up in the bottom left. I'm going to try to pay a bunch of attention here, but we got to get the stream up and running. And we're going to value bet now that we're checked to. And we're definitely going to value bet Queen Jack. Obviously, top pair heads up is a very strong hand. Okay, mute the live, hit that like button. When you guys do check out the channel, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Really helps promote it. We are trying to get fully monetized. So any suggestions for the channel, videos, streams, shorts, they're all definitely welcome. But yeah, we're just kind of here to prove that people can still make sort of their poker dreams happen. We are going to call that raise. And then we'll just go from there. Maybe shoves, we probably have to fold. Half pot, I think I'd call here. Nice. Oh, he just flopped it straight again. And we've been running pretty cold lately. The second somebody check raises you, they're just not bluffing. So we do need to be cautious, even heads up. We are going to overbet here with the gut shot and flush draw once he checks. And here in the top right, I don't think our hand's strong enough to shove, but we're definitely strong enough to call down. And we're going to value bet the 6. I'm probably chopping, I would imagine. Oh, nice. And we do have to call the shove here, I think. Okay, another set. Perfect. We'll lose to that. Um, but yeah, so all of these these few hands here that you've seen, it really does just go to show that when villains have a nutted hand, they're really just going to start putting money in. Even this turn lead out when the clubs hit, um, it's just strength from villains. So we have to be willing to fold. Top pair, top kicker with the jack of clubs. Can't really fold turn though to the small bet, and then obviously river. We're pretty committed, even though we're pretty cooked realistically. And over the squeeze, we shove ace king. Since we know he's super short. Against a fish, calling is probably also okay. There's not going to be a lot of three betting light. Okay, jack seven. This guy leaves, unfortunately. Yeah, we can run it twice. Okay, that's not a great start. He's got a lot of outs. Nice. It's a good dodge. Ate up a bunch of his diamonds and stuff too. And we're going to three bet the ace five. And we take down both for a small pot. Chats are up. That's all good. Okay. Oh, the table just died there. That sucks. Actually, the bad beat jackpot went off a second ago at NL 100 before we were able to sit. So nice little bang for a few of those guys this morning. 7K for one. I think the winner of the hand wins 2 or 3K at NL 100. Okay, they check around. Limped pot goes check, 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 check. We'll probably bet here and then bet river on bricks. Yeah. All right, ace king. I'm probably going to start ISOing those guys soon. Just because there's probably going to be a lot of calling pre and then a bunch of folding post. With king five, though, at a position when it's like limp, 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 it's likely we end up multi-way. So I think just limping in is probably okay if we don't expect them to actually be able to get us heads up. Then it's just too likely we're not going to win the hand when it goes like 3 or 4 ways post flop. Okay, so we got free NL50 tables. We're sitting heads up, looking for some action. So far, nothing. Pocket nines will raise. Haven't been playing really enough poker lately. With like GG Poker, you really need to be grinding, like especially at the micro stakes. Like you need to be playing a lot of hands, just because the rake is so high that like the leaderboard really does help. It's very difficult to beat um, the games. If you check out our Instagram, you can see like our win rate. We just added it up actually last night. While we do go on stretches of 40, 50K hands where we play around 20 bigs, our win rate is basically between 12 and 13 big blinds per 100 over like 400K hands at NL 50. Um, it's obviously a stake that's beatable, but when the rake is almost, I think the rake's 12 big blinds at NL 50. Uh, so it's pretty difficult to turn a profit for just about anyone. at NL50. Like you can obviously turn a profit. Like I'm sure there's a few tweaks we could make. A few more folds, um, probably a few less spews, stuff like that, where we can maybe gain a big blind, maybe a blind and maybe half a big blind, maybe a big blind and a half, something like that. Um, he raised, he called, he led flop, he led turn, and then checked. I think like ace queen, I bet. I think he has too much queen king in his range here. Um, queen king, queen 10. Um, might be way too tight of a check back though. Um, but he's probably not betting enough for value, which means his check range on the river is going to be a little bit stronger. But anyways, yeah, it's pretty difficult. So it's a lot of your win rate at the micro stakes is just coming from your it's just coming from your rake back and like leaderboard and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't play enough to kind of get some, even just a little bit on the leaderboard, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to grind the stakes. Okay, he bet three bet like really small, so it's unlikely he has ace king, and it's unlikely either of these two have ace king with how it's played. They just went call call, and then he tiny three bet. I called, and then they went call call again. Um, so I think with the king here and the unlikelihood that he actually has ace king, we probably have to put the money in, given how much is out there. Uh, or he just has the straight. Of course, check here. But again, just proving the point that the second somebody has aggression that's not potentially irregular, you're pretty well just cooked. So just really need to start overfolding again. Just been calling a little bit too much over the last couple days, putting in money in kind of spots where it's not great. But again, like even against that hand, we have somewhat decent equity. Um, but against any other hand at the table, we have at least 8 outs. So other than ace king, but it's just unlikely that he's going to have ace king. So given the fact that like against his range, it's just a call. So the fact that he had the one hand is kind of whatever. But like pocket tens, pocket jacks, people aren't always three betting that. Um, Queens, kings, aces, ace king, they pretty much always do three bet, but definitely not tens and jacks. So he can have sets there. He can have king 10. He can have queen king. He could have jack 9, 10 9, queen 9. Um, and they're just like, we were just getting really good pot odds, right? We will defend the ace to the lead out. Checks, we'll check back. And we'll happily show down. Okay. Okay. Three bet the jack 9. And on this board, we'll just go half pot. Take it down. And given these two stack sizes, we're going to three bet and Fun Mock just calling along. He's going to just have a lot of small pocket pairs. And if he is trapping, he's going to shove here so we can actually fold to him. But we basically want to stack size that these guys call, and then we just have a perfectly clean shove on the flop. Okay. I think we just put the money in here. Okay, check the king 3. That's a good hand. Insanely bad call. Nice. It's good to get the first one because we're pretty well dead on against him most of the time. Okay, and we'll raise the king 5 suited. But that's just like bonkers. over limp, and then calls 20 bigs with king jack off is insanity. And then to get the money in as an almost 60-40 favorite without a pair is even crazier. I think we're getting a cold. Can't fold to queen seven. Actually, nope. Raise the queen seven. There's a lot of little things you can do uh, that will probably, if you can actually stay um, really locked in, there's a lot of small spots. And obviously, if you're like really hand selecting too, like if you're only playing when you can get good fish at your table, which at NL50, because the rake is so high, that's probably the most profitable way to play, obviously, is like really, really heavy table selection uh, because the rake is through the roof. Uh, so you can't, turn a 13 big blind profit at the table. Um, you're not going to win. But we play a lot of reg tables and stuff. So like through happy hour and certain different times. Like this is our best time is in the morning because the morning's always got a bunch of weak players in during. Um, but in the afternoon, yeah, like you end up with a lot more regs at the table, which obviously will decrease your win rate. Against like these tables, like you can literally just sit here and wait for the strong hands until you have you know what I mean? Until you're in a spot where your hand is just simply stronger than theirs. So they check back. I think I'm gonna lead here. We can have the best hand with the ace quite a bit. Um, and I don't think we can block that now, but we do have the best hand still a lot. It's a great outcome against like flush draws and stuff. Kind of crazy he did c-bet that board, or did I 3-bet pre? Yeah, we 3-bet pre. Raise the king 10 suited, fold the 9-5. So yeah, you gotta have some pretty heavy table selection for sure to even have a chance of turning a plus, like turning a profit at the tables. Break it's that high. I 3-bets and then snaps pot. I think I'm just gonna let this go. Without a diamond in my hand, it's probably okay, realistically. We're just losing to too many kings. If we had ace king, that's obviously a different story. But even this, like we've won quite a few hands here and quite a few big pots, but like we're barely up 5 bigs because the rig is just so insane. Oops. Misclick there on the check, but it's fine. Barrel turn. Check the jack 8. But there's a few spots where we can definitely make some adjustments. I think one of them is like, despite how much we talk about overfolding, we need to start overfolding even more against most villains that are fish. When we talk about this, we're talking about like the bad regs, and non-regs, and recreationals and fish and stuff. We're not talking about the few guys who are actually relatively decent because they will bet, they will check raise gut shots, they will check raise bottom pairs, um, all that kind of stuff. So you have to be aware, obviously, of who you're playing against. I'm gonna peel one with the 10. And we'll just show it down. 2 pair makes sense. Tables are not super active this morning, fortunately. Okay, we're gonna raise the ace-9. Okay, and we're gonna value bet here on table 2. Okay, he's gonna continue with all of his like 9-8, 6-7s now. Those types of hands. Ace-7, ace-8, like ace-8 diamonds, ace-7 diamonds, ace-8 hearts, ace-7 hearts, etc. They'll all continue. 3-bet king-6 suited. Value bet the jack. Okay, we'll half pot here. With our hand having the gut shot. No clubs, which isn't great for our hand, obviously. I'm gonna check here. It's gonna be hard to get him off of a bunch of like pocket pairs that he's gonna have. So we are gonna check fold. He could be floating there quite a bit, but we just don't have anything to barrel with, fortunately. Okay, we'll just show down. We'll just give up the 5 here. We'll stab turn. Five three suited. Okay, raise the queen 6. Defend the 5-3. Decent flop. Full pot again. So he's obviously almost always has an ace or a king here when he goes full pot. But we can definitely call. If he goes full pot again with the 9, probably give up. Completely brick again. So we're just going to be check folding here. We're not going to be bluffing with the spades. He leads into his pot. Call. He goes full pot again. Almost always a value hand here. Very rare he's going to have diamonds. So, or he's potentially bluffing some portion of the time. I think we just call off. Checks. And we'll just shove. Gives up. Could be diamonds sometimes there, but with a bunch of backdoors and one overcard, we have to call flop bet. And we raise the queen jack. This thing goes full pot again. Check there. Not winning much on this table, that's for sure. Can't make a pair though. That really doesn't help our scenario. Okay. All right, it's a pretty good flop. Obviously, given the fact that he called that 20 big 3-bet, and we flop. So this is kind of what I was talking about when it comes to that half pot 3-bet against stacks that are like 30 or 40 bigs deep. Uh, when you have like an ace king type hand, um, they so often they'll do exactly that. Well, they'll call a 20 big blind 3-bet, and they'll just fold. I'll fold the ace 9 here. It's the first time he's done that. He could be trying to look tilted. Highly unlikely though, but he's probably just like open ripping now. And we're gonna check call the ace 8. Pretty much not folding to anything against this guy here. Uh, he seems to be pretty aggressive and bluffy. So we're just gonna be check calling. Yeah. You just kind of got to pick up on the tendencies of certain fish. Some fish will play a ton of hands pre-flop and then fold to everything when they don't hit like huge draws post. Some fish will just try to blast you off everything they have constantly. Um, in which case, um, we can just be obviously checking to them a whole bunch. Okay, we're going to c-bet and double barrel. Okay, I'll check back the ace here. He goes pot. I think we just have the best hand often enough still. We will fold to a double pot barrel though. Okay, raise the sevens. Fold king 9, fold over here. The queen 8 we're going to raise. Okay, he just goes up. 10-3 suited. Just fold. And we'll bump up the ace jack. Nice river. And he'll go for value. It's obviously shown a willingness to call, so I think if he had any ace, it's going to call that 9 big blind bet, which we'd, I guess, be chopping with, actually. So yeah, maybe probably better to go a little bit smaller on that river, just because we're chopping because of the paired board queens would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and the queen. So better to go smaller and try to get called by like nines or like a queen or something random like that. Okay. Hand's not good enough to bet, so it's just a bluff catcher. So we're just going to check call. Ooh, we're not going to check call that. We'll just let that go. Okay. Now we're going to raise the ace queen. Snap folds, unfortunately. I was going to say we'll definitely be calling, snap calling a shove that time if it went that route. Okay. Check the 5-4. And we'll raise the king 4 suited. Get called. I think we'll see bet this time. It's been a while. We've been checking back a lot. Throw a few see bet bluffs in there as well. Okay. I think we should probably be pretty much raising our entire range since he's never 3-betting us. And, we're 60-40 against almost every hand. Except for pocket nines and up, or pocket eights and up, or pocket fives and up, or whatever you want to call it. For 4x open, we'll fold. Or keep to our min opening here. Okay, let's defend Jack 9. Okay, check to him. Do have the gut shot here. Again, we're just kind of playing pretty straightforward right now. I think we're going to overbet here multi-way as the pre-flop raiser with the straight draw. These are like flops, like pre-flop raiser against out of position players where they don't have strong hands. They never have king queen. They never have kings. They never have queens. Um, so their best hand is basically like sometimes it can be like queen deuce suited or king deuce suited or pocket twos. Those are going to be their like best hands, and then they have just a ton um, of like crap. And we're just going to shove with the ace queen suited over 3x open. Nice. So he just calls it off, hoping to get lucky here. Yeah, we could run it twice. Let's just hope to hold. Bad start. Bad turn. Bad river. Oh, come on, man. So gross for him to just win two. I guarantee you he like leaves in the next 2 or 3 hands. Which is one of the negatives to playing heads up is that like yeah, exactly. Got his money back and dipped. Um, super unfortunate. So that's kind of one of the big negatives to heads up is that that exactly that can happen where the guy just like sucks out heavy twice and then they'll dip. So the benefit to heads up is if you can get regs who actually will play 3 or 4 tables with you, and you end up having an advantage over them. Then you can actually really like build on that edge. Obviously, you're just playing hand after hand after hand. So you do have an edge, you do have a read, you know, then it becomes relatively easy to take advantage of them. Also, we got a little heads up table here. We'll sit. Fold the 8 deuce. If you guys are watching the stream, please make sure you hit that like button. It does help promote it. Any engagement is great. We'll check here. Fold here. Preston get him there. Oh yeah. What happened there? All in. I just caught it on the river, basically, it looks like. How did that hand go down? Ace four suited. This calls. Okay. We are going to four bet, get it in with ace king. Okay. This guy's running super hot though, so it's could just same hand. Okay, let's get some free roll diamonds. Nice hand. Not a diamond in sight. This guy four X's. We're gonna four bet or three bet the fives. Take it down. So he definitely 4x open the non-premium if he's folding King Jack 10 to a small C bet. It's a good flop. Let's see if he leads into us. I'm just gonna raise here. We want to start building a pot here, and there's flush draws and stuff out there. So I think against the min open, we probably just have to defend here. Flop bottom pair. Bet some call. Turns the nine. It's going to continue all of his eights and jacks, his 10x's as well. Uh, all of his like overcards that we're ahead of are going to check. Deuces, threes, fours are going to check. Sixes, sevens are going to check. He does continue like really, really, really small though. Again, we'll just let that go. I think is fine. 4x opens. I think we'll just call, I guess, the 6-7 suited this time. You can definitely fold those two to these big giant open raises. Half pot will call. And again, we're going to three bet the king nine suited. And we're going to value bet the six once he checks. Goes for a check raise on the eight, which is very strange. We are check call. Yeah, we're just folding to this at this point. Check call the king nine. It's a nice river for us. We're just going to value bet now. This actually might be a spot where we like check call or shove, potentially. And we're going to ice it with the queen jack and raise the king queen. This is first hand, or is he? Yeah, second. Okay, folds. Take that down. Just check back the jack. And I think at this point we can go for value. A little block bet for value with the queen. Okay. I think we're just going to check raise the bottom pair this time. We do block some kings with king jack, jack nine. Take it down. Perfect. And we'll raise the king seven off. Fold the king seven. Fold the 8-4. Okay, value at king jack. Okay, just got to get some. I'm just updating the stream quick there. Okay, we turn a boat. There's value bet. Raise king queen. Save. And back to the stream. Okay, he raises us. Obviously, we're just like calling down here. And if we run into ace king somehow, so be it. Chop it up. It's been pretty standard so far. And we're gonna raise king queen. It's been a couple days of like not running super great. We're mostly like um, our nut hands are just chopping. It seems like every time. Okay, we're gonna three bet the king 10 suited. Okay, checks back flop. And we're gonna three bet the queen 9 suited. Button first cutoff open. Get shoved on. This guy's just crazy. Save this though. Ace king versus actually we're probably in pretty good shape. Hey, we're gonna ISO king jack. What happened here? Okay, we ISO'd, he called. And we raised over here. Yep. And we're gonna fold to when he raises us. That's fine. And we're just barreling the top pair, second kicker. And we'll just block bet. And 6-7 gets there. I mean, realistically, we don't ever win here, but I'm probably just gonna call it because it's NL 25. Um, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna call here. Yeah, yeah. Fucking annoying as shit, man. Good lord. So yeah. Point being, when they raise you, they have the nuts. He's not doing that with Queen Jack. You know, if they're never raising like with the second best hand to your hand, then you just need to fold everything against like the fish. It's a terrible call, realistically, with King Jack. Of course, all the diamonds miss. 6-7 gets there, like 6-7 diamonds, and like of course he just has 8-5 and banks it. But fold to 6-3. Hopefully he actually stays and just doesn't bit, and we actually get a chance to win um, our money back. Looks like the ace-5 takes it. Three bet the jack-10 suited. Fold the jack-4. Raise the ace-king. C-bet the ace-king. Okay, get called. It's a good start. Get some, hopefully get some money back here. Value bet again. Okay, raises, call the ace-king. He'll do this, he will raise ace like king-queen here, so we are calling off. If we run into a deuce, it's just unfortunate. Fucking Christ. Oh man, this game is so fucking annoying. Again, case and point. When they check raise, fucking fold everything. Fold 6-5 off. Check the 8-6. Okay, pick up a double gutter here. A 9 or a 5. Fold here. Pretty much stuck barreling. Perfect. Oh, we're in tilt mode now, team. Not really, but just super annoying, man. Like, you get into these stretches where you just actually can't win. Fold. Okay, rate ace king. So we've chopped with boats, we lost the top pair, second kicker, lost the top pair, top kicker to a set. The top pair, second kicker to a river 2 pair. Full raise the 6-3. See bet flop. Luckily, this is at 25 NL, which is nice. And we'll over the river as well. Check the ace king. Just pretty much a bluff catcher now. We're going to check call twice. That's a call. And we'll check call river. Okay, run into a boat again. Or a flush. We're also paying these guys off for no reason. And we'll value bet the king. Raise the 6-4. Like, there isn't really one spot here where we've should have called, I think. Check here. Okay, call here, fold here. Flop the set up here. It's likely he just has like 8-5 or 8-6 or something random, or pocket aces or whatever it is that we're stacking to here. Jack 8 is insane to put the money in with Jack 8 there. Nice. Okay, we get one back on him. Okay, money's going in very good here with a set of 7s. Quads on the river. And we'll bet again here. Nice. Pocket 4s, 8-7. Good. Okay. Select a stack over there, and we collect a stack over here. Fold the 8-6. Just gonna fold the 3s. Okay, so we're heads up on 2 different tables now. Raise the queen 6 suited, raise the ace 4 suited. Nothing for us here. 10-7 off, we can fold. Just want to do mostly 3-betting or folding, given the rake. Fold 9-4. Leads into us on this board. We can let that go. We just don't have absolutely anything. Oops. Let's click there. Okay. Queens we're gonna raise. Raise the 8-6. We'll ISO the Jack 10. 3-bet the jacks. Bet some call. Given his spewability and he's only on a 50 big stack, we'll happily get jacks in. Of course it is. You know how many times I've run jacks into aces this week? Like a million. Take it down with Jack 10. And we pick up 2 extra out, queens. Queen, Jack, Jack. Not today. Okay, we lose our other heads up table. Fold the Jack 3 here, fold the 9-8 off. Okay, raise the 5s. Well, winning this hand and this stack, probably pretty close to even now. We are going to value bet the 5s now once it's checked to us twice. I think he would be betting the 10 at that point. Oh, 7 versus 9 is nice 7. We'll just check the ace here. Okay, pick up a gut shot. He bets out. Now we'll check call. Ace is very good. Bets again, we'll call. Trips on the river. We'll block bet. Nice. Kings. Yeah, glad we bet the river there. He's just going to check back the river way too often. So I think betting there's better. Okay, raise the 7 suited. Limped pot, we pick up 9-3. Turn a flush draw. Flop checks around. All right, I'm going to bet here now for value. A little bit of value. I think like any flush draws and stuff are calling. I think any queen, I would assume he would have bet flop with. So we're just looking for him to call down with, yeah, exactly, like ace high, pocket sixes, stuff like that. Okay, we're gonna raise the 6-7 suited. Okay, so I think I'm gonna fold here. I know it seems crazy, um, but the fact that this guy did not, yeah, you're terrible, Washburn, folding jacks like that. This guy didn't 3-bet king jack. He like called it, and his 3-bet's 4%. I think it's a spot where I feel fine, honestly, just letting it go. GTO actually 4-bets or folds it pretty much always from the small blind against a raise and a 3-bet. And with this guy with 3-betting, he's only got a 4% 3-bet, I think. It's kind of one of those spots where it's just not so bad. I don't mind just calling small blind some portion of the time either. Nice hand. Okay, raise the 90, especially 3-handed against a bunch of like weaker players. It's a small 3-bet to 10, so we can call in position with 9-8 suited. When he goes like the 12 or 13, we fold a little bit more. Nice hand. Okay, check the 5 deuce. Fold the ace 7. Okay, we will erase the ace 9 suited. Fold the 10-7. Okay, we'll check the king 8 off. We'll fold the king eight off here. Fold the queen three. Okay, well, tables are pretty well dead. Um, Unfortunately, just lost another villain there. We're gonna three bet the ace queen suited against a button open. Recently, we're stacked by him on a 50 big blind stack. Jacks versus aces. Okay, calls. Not a great flop for us. But against a villain with a super, super wide range like this, I think we could probably just bet here at least a good portion of the time. Um, Checks back flop. He's gonna have lots of sevens, honestly. We're hoping he has like a club draw. Just queen nine suited, no problem. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, raises again. Obviously, we're three betting like a ton versus him, and we're gonna squeeze here with queens against Fun Mock. His three bets 10%, so that 4% previously was a little bit dubious. Okay, and we're gonna see bet small here. Calls. Check to him. Let's put an ace up. Call. Check to him. We're obviously like we have to call here for 40 bigs. Perfect. Another queen nine lose. Ace queen versus queens lose. This guy used to play like NL 500. I remember when it was going down. Like NL 1. When we played 200 no limit and 500 NL, he was playing along with us. So we're both back down here. Just kind of to see. But again, like whatever, it is what it is. We can fold some portions of the time there. We have to just call it off some portions of the time there as well. But anyways, we're down to one table. Just felt like getting stacked one more time, I think, to finish off the stream. Um, but yeah, I think we're just gonna end it there. Oh, he's back. Guess we'll just see here for a second. And he leaves again. Okay. Yeah, just no action. Well, we'll try to get some more daytime or like nighttime streams going where we can play a bunch more hands kind of thing. Um, I think maybe next time we run this, we'll do the gauntlet. We're just gonna fold here. You can raise with the gut shot some portion of the time, but okay. Well, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We'll try to improve these streams for